Okay, we are going to make a start on the ceiling because obviously we need something. We've got, well, original plan was, you've probably seen it, the slats, the plywood slats, well usually plywood slats, with the light, the LED strips down the sides of them, in between the gaps. Looks fantastic, looks really nice. It's a bit of a pain in the arse cutting all the slats and it's not cheap, so that's going to be plan B. That was the original plan. The new plan, if I can find a picture of it, I'll post it up now because I saw this. And so the idea is we put battens in, and instead of using the thicker ply and creating slats, we use a thin sheet of ply, so probably like 6mm, and we basically board the ceiling. But as that picture shows, if I can find it, there's like a pattern been grooved into it, and I want to try it. However, because we've got all the cabinets in, it's not just a square piece of ply. It would mean that I have to cut out every angle around every shape everywhere and then bring the ply in and stick it up, and that is a headache. So I've got a load of spare ply that we put on the walls, the cheap stuff. I'm going to attempt, so essentially if we can pull this off, it'll be two halves, so one half here, one half in the back. So I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to get a sheet of this, I'm going to make some measurements, try to make a template. If that works, it'll be a miracle, but if it does, I think it'll look really nice, and we can put spotlights down the middle. So I'm going to try and figure this out. You watch the intro, press subscribe, don't be a miserable sod, and let's see how far we get today. Right, here is the plan to fix the problem that we have got. Don't know if it's going to work, and if it doesn't, then whatever, I'll come up with a new plan. Right, so the problem we've got, I need, if we want to put a sheet up, because I've got all this in, we should have done this first, but we didn't. So I need to put a sheet of plywood up. I need it to be cut exactly to the shape of all these cabinets, all the way around here, everywhere. Because nothing is straight or right angle and perpendicular and all that shit, I can't just measure what that is and then mark it on a bit of wood and then measure what that is, because it's all different shapes and I need it to be really close to perfect. So I have put up 2 battens, well 3 actually. I've put up some battens, and my plan is to cut down bits of scrap ply and put that up, pin it to the battens as a temporary measure, and create myself an outline of this shape that we need. I hope this is making sense to you. I only just think it makes sense to me. So my idea is make an outline, just put these around the outside of all the way around, pin it to these battens so that it's stable and creates like a frame almost, and then unscrew these battens with these still attached, bring that down, take that out, and that is my outline of the shape I need, and that will be my template. Do you think this is going to work? I'm not so sure. I'm just thinking now, can I get this down? Yeah, I think we should be okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to try. This is attempt number 1. If all else fails, I just have to fork out a few extra quid and we build the slatted ceiling which we originally planned. But, you know, I like to make things a bit difficult. So I'm going to chop down a load of bits of wood, screw it all to this, make an outline, unscrew, get it out there, see if we can make ourselves a template. Oh, we have to choose the difficult route, don't we? Okay, I've charged the battery up, so let me fill you in on where we are. If, by the way, you can hear the washing machine, I apologise, it's going off its tits behind me. I have used scraps of 6mm ply, cut a straight edge on them, and put them up against each edge all the way around, and screwed it to the battens. I'm now going to undo the battens and take the whole thing down as one piece, and with any luck, assuming it doesn't move, that gives me an outline of this half of the ceiling, and I can put that onto a onto a full piece of 6mm ply, cut that out, use it as a template, and hopefully, with any luck, I have a perfect sized ceiling piece that I can somehow manoeuvre in, press up, and attach to the battens. Right, what I'm going to do is just put, because I've got one batten here, one there, and a little one here, I'm going to put a couple of cross beams in just to try and stop it all moving, and then I'm going to try and take it all out. Right, I'm going to undo these battens and try and take this whole thing out.
Wow.
In one piece.
Okay.
I think. So you pin that up for me.
Yep.
Just lightly. There's only a couple of screws.
Yeah.
Now come down gently.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Keep going. Is it stuck on the black rubber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Right, you have to take that black rubber off then. It starts at the top.
There you go.
Right. Rest it there and go around the back of the van for me. Right, I've put the template on a spare piece of the cheap plywood, so it's not the one that we will end up using. That'll be birch plywood. This is just poplar, because I want to test it, make sure it works. I've swapped over the battens, the support battens, the ones that went sideways, from underneath to the, well, to what's now the back, in order to make sure that the bits of ply that I used are flat against the next bit of ply. However, when I removed that last one, those two battens did move a little bit. I think they're in the right place now, but I'm not 100% sure, so this could go a bit tits up. So what I'm going to do is draw these lines on now, cut it out, and we'll see what we end up with, because I like that. That's now cut down to size. What I need to do is dismantle the template, take the battens off it, the very long ones, or the main ones I should say, put them back on the roof, and then see if this fits on them, and fingers crossed it does. You have to pick it up good.
I'm trying.
Baby, you got to pick your end up, babe. This is why it's not going in.
Of course, it's my fault. I'm in my side. I just need to push that way a bit more. I think you need to take more off.
What are we stuck on here? How is that so in the wrong place?
Okay.
This is attempt number 2, and the last one of the day because it's getting dark.
And cold.
And cold. We've trimmed it down a little bit. Ooh.
That's already nicer. And this side. Much nicer. Let me hop over. One sec. my head on it.
Right, it's just this for some
Right.
reason. I don't understand why though. Right, take it out.
Well, 3 attempts isn't bad.
Right, it's a new day and a new attempt. Attempt number 3 this. Sam's at work, so I'm on my own. This was a ball ache. As you can see though, I have managed to get it in. The mistake I made yesterday was I forgot to cut out this little bit that sticks out of the side of the cabinet. So I've cut that out. It's still a bit tight, so I'm going to give it a little shave. Other than that, everywhere fits like a glove. Like, I am impressed, genuinely. So the next part of the idea is that we router in a design. Don't care what the design is, I'll figure that out later. So I'm going to test that just like with probably a 2mm deep router bit. Cut out some design of some sort, paint that black, sand it so that it's all smooth, and then paint the finished product, like the surface of it, not the grooves, the finished product with the oil that we've done everywhere else. This, as a reminder, is not the finished product. This is just a template. The finished product will be made out of birch plywood, and this is poplar. So all this trouble is just for a template, and that's only half of it, because this is the front half of the van. We've got to do the back half, yeah? So I still need to do this whole process again, but in the back, which I'm not going to record. You don't need to watch it. You know what I'm doing now. But I am going to just test this router thing, because I've never done that before. Paint it, make sure it looks okay, and if we're happy with the product or finished article, then we can crack on. But as far as that outline, I'm fucking well impressed. I've just done like a random wavy line with the router. I'm thinking the width of the bit was a bit big. Maybe like an 8 or a 10 would be better. I think this was like a 12 or something. 12.7 apparently. So I definitely think that might be too big. But the fact is, it worked. I'm going to give it a bit of paint. I haven't got any black like I said we were going to use. But it doesn't matter, this is just a test piece, so I'll put a bit of whatever it is, grey, I think we've got some knocking about, fill that, sand it over, and then if it looks nice, we'll go with it. Right, it's been a couple of days, so I have got both the front and back template cut out. The plan is, and I've put the beams up, these are the final beams, they're not going anywhere now, so they're the ones that we're going to attach the ceiling to in the end product. I've run them all the way down, so there's 3 in the middle, cut out the middle for the fans, and I have pocket holed them, because there's no ends, I've pocket holed them into either end. This end into the overhead, the cab thing. Why can I never remember the name of this bloody bulkhead? That's it. Bulkhead, and down the bottom, actually, I'll grab the camera and I'll show you down the bottom. Hang on. Right, at the back, I have put in this little box, if you will, using the birch ply. I've literally just butt jointed 2 bits of wood together, and what that's done is give us a nice neat edge going across. I can pan out a little bit, you'll see. I've gone right the way across, and then over here I've done exactly the same thing above the bed, but I have fabriced it in the same fabric, and we've put these 2 little reading lights in that you can move, which are cute. And I've put the cables for them round through there, through the back of that, all the way around here, all the way around there. Then it comes down underneath, and it will go straight into the fuse box. And I've just realised I've not shown you any of this yet because we've crossed over videos. So forget you've seen that. That's probably the next video or the one after. None of this is ready yet, but I was just getting it in place. So ignore you've seen that. Right, in preparation for getting the ceiling up, there is some cabling that needs doing. We have got the lights that we put underneath the kitchen. I put 2 of them underneath the seating, well, underneath the cabinet over the seating area. So I need to connect all 5 of them to a cable that will go to the switchboard. I also have to think about ceiling lights, so we're going to put, I think, 4 or 5 spotlights in the top. They all need to be connected again to, where's that going? Yeah, they need to be connected to a light, a cable which goes to the switchboard as well, so I have to run that. And also there's 2 max fans, they need connecting, and they will go straight to the fuse box at the back of the van, so I need to run a cable for both of them. All of that before I can get the ceiling up. So I've made a start. I have got the cables connected, well, I'm about to finish connecting them. Cables connected for the under the kitchen cabinet, and the way I've done that, I'll turn you around. The way I've done that is I have got all 5 lots of the cables, and I was going to chuck them into one butt joint, but I changed my mind, so I've used these Wago connectors. I have put, so if you, hopefully this focuses, but I have put 5, well, I've put 3 in one and 2 in another of the lives, and in that third connection point, third connection point there will be the cable that comes from the switchboard. And I'll do exactly the same with the negatives as well. Connect them up. I'm going to test them now just by connecting the cables to the battery. So I'm going to finish plugging these in, and then I'm going to connect them to the battery, and hopefully all 5 of those lights light up, just so I know that they work before I put everything in. So I did test all of these lights individually to double check which were the live and negative. I literally just stuck the ends of the cable on the battery, waited for it to light up, and then I marked them with a bit of red tape just so I know. So I'm going to finish this one by putting this. Can you see what's going on here? Shall I tilt that up a little bit? I got that little Wago connector. That last one is going to go in there, and this is the cable that is going to go to the, where's that last bit? The cable that's going to go to the switchboard, and then from there it'll go into a switch, obviously, and there'll be another cable that goes from that onto the fuse box to make it all work. Right, that is in. So I've got the other end of this, which is coming out of the switchboard here, and I'm going to stick that on the battery, and hopefully all 5 of these lights light up. So let me put you in a position where you can see what's going on. Hang on, hang on. Slide you down. You can have a look under there. Does that work? There we go. Right. I'm going to stick the ends of the cable on to the battery, and hopefully... Hey! Look at that! Now let me turn you around, because there are 2 lights over here as well, which obviously you will want to see lighting up. This is my fridge, by the way, it's just there for a temporary measure. Look at that, we've got lights! Right, super happy with that. Now I know that works, I'm going to tape up all of this mess so it looks a little more neat. Do exactly the same with the spotlights that are running down here. I'll talk you through them in a minute because we've got to run them, I think you call it in parallel, but don't quote me. And we need to connect the max fans, and then we can get the template for the ceiling in, cut all the holes in the right place, and then transfer that template onto the final wood, cut that out and do exactly the same thing, blah blah blah. We'll get there. Oh, I'll show you this. I went to the store in the van to pick up the wood that we're going to use on the ceiling. Forgot, because, hang on, let me get through this. Forgot that I had left the battery in this space where the fridge is going. So I had the battery sat there. Terrible cameraman. Terrible. Oh, bloody hell. We're all over the place. Right. Terrible cameraman. Look, I had the battery sat there. Yeah? Completely forgot. Went to the shop, went round a corner, battery slid out. My god, this battery's like 50 kilo. Slid out, smashed the shit out of my kitchen door. Luckily, it's only that top fake drawer that's damaged and a scratch on the front, but nothing that bad. And put 2 fecking holes in my new floor. I could have cried. Let me show you the damage to the kitchen. Maybe you can see from there or not. That is fucked. Basically that all bent in. Those little brackets that I put on bent in completely. So I'm going to have to take that off, that top bit. Put new brackets on, put a new handle on. Luckily, there's no damage to the inside. How? I don't know. But that door, other than touching that, is working fine. So yeah, don't forget to put the battery on the floor if you go driving. Right, that's the first half of the template just pinned in temporarily. I've put a hole here, hopefully in the right place, where the maxi fan is. What I need to do is cut out the shape of the inside of that. What I'm going to do is use a router bit with a flush edge little, what do you call them? My brain is not braining today. Oh, that's it. A flush edge, a flush edge router bit with a bearing on it. So what it means is the inside, I can run the bearing along the inside of the frame, the fan frame, and go across and across and across and across, and cut out the square perfectly where I need it. And then the cover for the fan will cover up that hole nicely. Right, change of plan, because I've realised that the router bit is not long enough to get from the face of this up to the side of the fan frame. So I don't want to go to the shop and spend 30 quid on a bloody bit that's big enough, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I can see through. I'm going to just run down to what I think is about the edge and then just go across. It doesn't need to be perfect. The, what do you call it, I don't know what it's, like a shroud kind of thing, will cover this. So as long as it's big enough to get that in, then it's happy days. I'll probably fast forward this bit because this thing's noisy as hell. Right, let me start off by saying that was a mistake. I mean, it's worked. I've got a hole, but the mess. The Hoover did sod all. The dust was everywhere. Everything has been coated in sawdust. I've just tried to hoover it all up, but I'm going to have to give it a good going over. Whatever. I'll come up with a better plan for the next one. There's a hole there, and I think you call this a shroud or a cover, whatever, which will go into the finished product, fits in and covers up that scraggy ass hole, so it doesn't matter. That all looks good. So I know that works. This, by the way, is going to get sprayed black at some point because I don't want the white. What is next? What we're going to do is I'm going to draw the lines for where the battens are underneath onto the face of this, so I know exactly where they are, and I'm going to mark the holes for the screws. What we're going to do is, when we come to router in the design that we talked about, we're going to router over those holes, and then when we paint black, we'll use black screws. So in theory, you don't see any screw holes or any screws. It's just all part of the design, so it'll look hidden, which I think will be quite a cool little touch. Right, now I've done that one, I'm going to get the one in the back in place, cut the hole out for the back fan in a better method, Yeah, let's crack on with that. So we'll cut the fan hole for the second piece. Where's this going? And draw the lines on for where the battens are. Everything should go in.
Line.
That's that. Is it? That looks fine, doesn't it?
It's beautiful.
Right. I'm going to put. So what we've done is we've cut across the two to line them up, but I want to make sure that's absolutely perfect because I'm worried that it's not. So I'm going to put the first one back in and then put this in, make sure it's spot on, and then all we've got left to do is drill the holes for the little spotlights, and then we can transfer this onto the proper wood, the real piece, and start it all over again.
I'm going steamy.
Are you steaming up?
Yeah.
Okay, take that one out.
Is that joint okay?
No, there's a big gap there.
What do you mean there's a big gap? Push it up.
What do you mean push it up? There's a gap.
What do you mean there's a gap? Is that because it bows?
No, do you know what that is? That's the fucking thickness of the blade.
What's the thickness of the blade?
That's what that is. We didn't take into account the fucking blade, did we?
Okay.
Is that up?
So can we... Yeah? I'll hold it here.
Options now are to put a cover in.
A bracket just to keep them together.
It's not to keep them together because they'll be screwed in, it's just to cover that gap, which isn't the end of the world. Or on the next piece you just leave a couple extra mil.
Leave a couple of extra mil.
Alright, everything else works. So let's not worry about that just yet because it's not the end of the world. Take this out.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have finished cutting out the ceiling at both parts with all the holes so that the lights can get in. Everything looks perfect. Now we are in the wind. We are trying to sort out the routering, which is difficult because you need to keep a steady hand. So we're going to use this, which is the router. We're going to plan out some markings onto the wood, and we're just having a bit of a test drive really. So let's give it a go. This isn't the real wood, by the way. This is the fake stuff.
Fake stuff.
You know what I mean? It's real wood, but
the original template.
the original temp. Yeah, it's not the good wood. It's the shit wood.
Good wood.
Right. Okay.
It's blowing a gale.
It's blowing a gale. I've got holes in different areas. No. Okay, right, so I'm drawing out the... Oh, hello. I'm drawing out the... where we're going to router. But we have to be careful because what we're trying to do is we're trying to be clever. We're trying to router, but also go over each of the individual holes where all of the screws will go. So it's about making it look aesthetically pleasing, but also making sure that we go over the holes. That's what I'm doing. Sunshine! So, got a hole here, and a hole here. So we're just going to go up and round. Right, so the whole thing has been drawn out. We're happy with how it looks. It doesn't look too uniform, and we're going to go straight in now with the router. I'm absolutely shitting myself. I've asked Andy, he can film it, he's going to put it on the tripod, but I don't want him anywhere near me because if he's over me, then I'll fuck it up. So, here we go.
Stop already.
And cut.
Why?
Because you're not. No, that's it. That's me starting. You cut it.
Oh,
and then
I have to put it on the tripod.
You put it on the tripod and you fuck off now.
Right, okay.
You can add that in as well
Get
if
the
you want.
tripod then.
Right, whilst I'm waiting for the black paint to arrive for the grooves, I decided to do the electrical bits for the lights. So that fucking chainsaw in the back, it's not helping. What we're going to do is, I'm going to use this as an example. So in the van, from the switchboard, there is a cable that's, you saw me put in before, that's coming to the top of the ceiling, and we're going to use that as a representation. So that is going to connect, and I've used little Wago connectors. So we've got Wago connectors, the light and the power source. We've got three, what do you call these? Three-way connectors?
Yeah.
Three-way connectors. So we've got the power source going to go into one of each, the light going to go into one of each, and then another cable coming into one of each, and that will come all the way to the next light. The same thing will happen, three-way connector, cables in each and the light in each. Next light, exactly the same thing. Next light, exactly the same thing. Next light, exactly the same thing. And then at the end, we've just got two-way connectors because we haven't got anything else to add, and the light will just connect into that. And that, I think, what do we call that? It's called a parallel?
Series.
Series. Is it series?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, that's connecting something in series then, apparently. If that's not Sam, by the way, talking behind the camera. That's my buddy Tom, in case you thought Sam had been taking testosterone or something. So that's how we're lighting up the lights. Because this is in two pieces, I'm going to have to disconnect that one when we put the ceiling in, so that it's not all joined together. We'll put the front in, and then I will reconnect this, and then we can pop the lights in. Well, I might be able to pop the lights in before we put the ceiling up, but whatever, same shit. If we ever need to change the lights, it's easy just to disconnect and put a new one in. Right, so once that black paint gets here, we'll start doing the grooves, and then I can get it sanded again and oiled, and we're good to go.
Okay, so we have painted the grooves, and we've had to come inside because it is, well, it started to rain, so we came inside, but now it's beautiful, but it's also blowing a gale, so I just thought I'd come inside.
working?
No, one's not working.
Wait.
Trying again. Yay! We have light. So that's the ceiling finished. We are very impressed with ourselves. We are very happy. There are
happy with this.
no screw holes. Everything is hidden with the black lines. All the lighting works.
The other side and show.
Okay. So all the lighting works. Everything looks beautiful. And yeah, ceiling done. Another one ticked off. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you put any comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.